Professor Castiano, welcome to Hildesheim. We are very glad to have you here and to have the opportunity to exchange ideas here with you about philosophy and philosophizing in Mozambique. So my first question is, what is the current situation of philosophy in your country in Mozambique?
Thank you very much for having me here. So in Mozambique we can find philosophy, let's say formal philosophy, in three places. In the schools, we have a curriculum for grade 12 and 11 in the schools where we teach philosophy as a subject. And then we have at the university is more teacher training at various level, even at PhD level we have a teacher training in philosophy. And then the last place we can find philosophy is, of course, in the society. Philosophers are very active in, let's say, critical thinking about utopia. How can Mozambique be better than today?
Coming back to philosophizing in the community and society, one of our main research foci is to search for sources of philosophizing in African languages. Now, the official language also in the Academy of Mozambique is Portuguese. But what do you think about philosophizing in African languages? Is it a challenge? Is it an opportunity?
No, it is a challenge, mainly for the Department of Philosophy to research about it. There are some, sagen wir so, let's say some ways to do it. We have mostly in literature, poetry, and also in some writings in African national languages, but we are not yet there to start. Maybe it's a challenge for next years. No?
Yeah, thank you. So what is your understanding of philosophy or the activity of philosophizing?
Okay. My understanding of philosophy is a reflection on the human nature, human condition. You know that from African perspective, the human condition that Africans have been placed is slavery, colonialism, but we are, as a philosophers, we want to go out of this and to dream about the tomorrow. So I think the first task of philosophy is to reflect on human condition. The second one is to give alternatives for a better tomorrow. So what normally we call utopia, I would say realizable, or what is real utopia that get grounded not in the dream, but in real condition that people have, so that tomorrow or in the future the situation could be better. So I think philosophy works in these main dimensions. One is the human condition, but also, and it's important to see tomorrow, how can you better those conditions by critical thinking, by dialogue. So for me also philosophy is dialogue. About how do I live philosophy? I live philosophy in three main ways. As a teacher at the university, so I live philosophy trying to transform, to make sense or bringing meaning of what is philosophy in that context of Mozambique and Africa. And then I live philosophy as an academic, as a researcher. So it's my responsibility also to bring what are the general discussion in the world, in the global area, to Mozambique, and to make the students aware that there are other questions of philosophy, of thinking, of critical thinking. And then the last way I live it is to be an intellectual. Does it mean that to intervene in the society? By now, I am very engaged in two ways. One is defending democracy for Mozambique, and then the second one is the reconciliation, because we have a very violent society, and then reconciliation is one of the issues that I'm always out in, maybe in the media, but also in the public discussion.
You are one of the followers of Henry Odera Oruka's Sage Philosophy project, and as Odera Oruka already did, you also conducted interviews with philosophic sages in Mozambique. Why are you following this school of sage philosophy? And what are your main findings in interviewing philosophic sages in communities in Mozambique?
There are two reasons. The first reason is that when you teach in the context of Mozambique, you teach philosophy, students expect from you to speak about also national philosophers or people who are sage, let's say in that way, but they have something to say in the area of philosophy, in wisdom or metaphysics, maybe in ethics. So that made me to go back to Oruka and to see how did he do that, what kind of methods, what questions he posed. So I tried to do that also in context in Mozambique. But the second reason is that I think the sage, and that is part of your question, finding. The main finding, what surprised me, is how they are informed about actual processes. How do they see, for instance, democracy? How do they see the education system? How do they see the morality in Mozambique? So they are double critical towards their own traditions, that sometimes we think that they are just defending tradition. But they are not only interpreting tradition, but they are also criticizing some of the issues. For instance, the oppression of women. I found it that they are also against that. And then they are also criticizing the system, the actual politics, the stage of morality in the society, the lack of dialogue, for instance. So it was surprising for me. Not much surprising, but it was, that's my finding. That different to Oruka, I think he was more asking about the traditional thing, metaphysics, whatever, questions. But in my concern was also to give students the idea that those old sages, sagacity, they have also critical insights of their own societies and of the actual society in the world.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned already that, in your opinion, philosophy has to play a crucial role in keeping democratic societies alive, and also in the reconciliation. So what in general do you think is the function of philosophy in society? And linked to this question, how do you see the future of philosophy in Mozambique?
I can just answer what me am trying to do, is to broaden the idea that we only keep together when we speak each other. So the role of dialogue, on that we don't touch guns, but we use arguments to any questions that we have. So the task of philosophy is to look for any opportunity of debate. And the second one is also to say, okay, those are just opinions, but we can have arguments about that. We can also broaden the space that of dialogue from national level to the local level. No? So by now, I see the future of Mozambique to understand that violence doesn't take us further than we must sit together, or whatever the issue it is, or is about history, about who is a hero or not, or what kind of society each one views that each one has, to bring them together. That is, I think, that is our role, and I think there is a brighter future about that.
You also mentioned that in Mozambique you have philosophy at school, in the secondary school. So do you think that the future of philosophy is secured by such programs?
No, we have we have a lot of, let's say, enemies for philosophy in the schools. The two main ones there, they think that philosophy is more theology, a religion, because many of our students, we had to take them from select, let's say in that way, from the religious institutions, no? Because they had this habit of reading, so we build up on that. And then other group thinks that no, because of our past, socialist past, they think it's Marxism. So they don't see as a philosophy like from Plato until Habermas, whatever it is, but they think it's always Marxism. So if being Marxism is supporting the current party in power, no? So those are the enemies, but there are some that they don't believe in philosophy, say philosophy is just talking. So I see the future in maintaining that space, grade 11 and 12, but also we are pressurizing the government to accept kind of philosophy down to the children. So we may not call it philosophy or as a subject, but I see that we are almost there to call it civic education. They wanted moral education, but I said personally that no, it should be civic education, because our aim is to discuss political issues with the children.
Yeah, thank you so much for being with us, for discussing all these questions, and for your contributions to our research at our center.
Thank you.
And yeah, I wish you good luck for your for your also administrative work at your university, the Pedagogical University in Maputo. Thank you so much.
I use it to benefit of philosophy also. Thank you very much.
Thank you.